if you are watching this, hopefully this is for educational purposes only. But if you ended up getting your channel suspended, then I got to say that that's tough. Well, depending on what you were doing. For anybody that doesn't know how a channel can get suspended, I would like to let y'all know how that comes about. And then there are things that you can do to try to get your channel reinstated. So I'll go over that afterwards, and then maybe have a little bit of an alternative that you might be able to do. Ways that you can end up getting your channel suspended is usually through copyright strikes. You know, if you get 3 copyright strikes within a certain amount of time, then your channel will get suspended. However, there are certain things that you could do to get your channel suspended without any copyright strikes. YouTube does have the ability to do that. That could be in the way of taking somebody else's content and then they want to, you know, hit you with a copyright strike through content ID situation, a bunch of misinformation on your channel, a bunch of clickbait, sensitive content, violent content, other things like that. Once you get your channel suspended, your account will be suspended. So even if you get a brand channel suspended, that's going to suspend your personal account as well. Not only will you get suspended on YouTube, but your account will get suspended on YouTube Studio and YouTube TV as well. Unfortunately, for some of you, you won't even get an email. Usually YouTube will give you an email and let you know why they suspended your channel, and then you can figure out exactly what you may or may not have done. They don't say specifically what it is, they just kind of give you a general idea of what you might have done. So you'll have to do some digging to make sure you know exactly what it is. Hopefully you already do know what it is, but even more than that, maybe it might have just been an error on YouTube's part. Either way, you still have the option to appeal it. I will leave a link to the page where you can go to appeal a suspended channel. It'll essentially have you put in your channel ID, email address, and it will let you give a description on why you think the suspension was an error on YouTube's behalf. So you want to put as much as you possibly can. And if it was an actual violation, then you're just gonna have to pretty much just fall on the sword and be like, yo, I understand exactly why my channel got suspended. This is something I'll never do again, yada, yada, yada. You'll get a human that will actually take a look at this. So this might be the only time that you get an actual human to look at your situation. Once you do that, you send in your appeal. It could take a couple of days or it could take a couple of hours for you get something back saying whether or not the appeal was accepted. If your appeal was accepted and they reinstate you, then great. If not, then you still got a few options, but not too many, you know what I'm saying? Because this is the best one you got. I've heard situations where they give you like 14 days to get a second appeal to go. And then I've also heard that you only get one shot at an appeal like this. You can still try an attempt for an appeal by going on places like Reddit. You can try to get in contact with somebody on Team YouTube, on Twitter. You can try to send a message on creator support. Basically let somebody know you feel like you have gotten your channel suspended in an error, and see if somebody will actually pay attention to you in order for you to get a second chance to be looked at. While there's always a possibility that could happen, I've seen some people actually say that they've had some success on it, but you know, what are the odds of that actually happening, especially with like a smaller channel, right? So that comes down to the last couple of things that I got. If you try your first appeal and that don't work, and then you try like Reddit, creator support, you tried those and it didn't work, the only thing you really got to do is just start over from scratch. But let's say, for example, you have multiple brand channels on that one account. Let's say I have my primary account, and then I have Y Tutorials as a brand account, and then I have DIY work, let's call it, as another brand account on my channel. DIY work gets suspended, my primary account gets suspended, but if I was to type in Y Tutorials, it still pops up. I don't have access to get to Y Tutorials because I can't sign in to my account. because I'm banned, I'm suspended. What options do you have to get to that brand channel that is yours? You would have to be able to switch that account to another account. You wouldn't be able to do that on YouTube. You would have to do it on Google. I've already made a video on how you can switch brand accounts through Google. Check out that video there. But that is essentially the only way you can get anything that was residing on your old account that got suspended. But let's say your primary channel is the one that got suspended and that's it. Well, then you would have to start over from scratch on YouTube. So what you'll have to do is make a new Google account and then start over from there. Yeah, with all that being said, hopefully this video helped you out. I don't think I said anything in this video that would give me a copyright strike or something like that. YouTube might be like, man, what are you talking about? Why are you telling people this? As far as how to switch a brand account from one Google account to another, check out this video over here. That'll show you how to do it. And I'll see y'all in the next video.